Hi, and welcome to our video on the first special project based on Chapter 3, Working with Customers. The last two modules before the final will be special projects. Each project will be a revisit to an earlier chapter which works on an important concept or process. It's our chance to look at something twice because it's so important. Special Project 1, or SP1, takes us back to Chapter 3, Working with Customers. Even though it's an early chapter, it deals with one of the most important areas in QuickBooks, customer-related transactions. Our assignment will utilize the Reinforce Your Skills exercise at the end of Chapter 3 and will be discussed in detail later in this video. By way of reviewing Chapter 3, I want to list for you the Develop Your Skills, DYS, in the chapter. The first DYS is Manage the Customer and Job Lists. That's DYS 3-1 on page 80. The second is Create Items, DYS 3-2 on page 88. The third is Creating Invoices, DYS 3-3 on page 93. And the fourth is Receive Payments, DYS 4 on page 97. Then we have Enter Cash Sales, DYS 5 on page 100, and Correct Customer Transactions, DYS 6 on page 105. And finally we close it out with Customer Related Reports, DYS 3-7 on page 108. So you can see from this list of tasks that we're working on, this is really involved with all the things you do with the customer. From creating items, to creating invoices, to receiving payment, to entering cash sales, and then the details of how we can correct or change transactions, and then finally the reports that are related to customers. In the last module, I gave you a quiz study list, and I asked for feedback on how this list worked. Was it useful? Was it worth doing? We received almost 100% support for having a separate quiz study list, and so therefore we'll continue it through the rest of the modules. I thank everyone for their feedback via the discussion board. It was very useful. The quiz assessment can be reviewed by looking at the previously mentioned quiz study list. It gives us a chance to, in an unhurried way, work on getting the very best answers. I had a lot of excellent feedback by people who said that they also used it as they read the chapter because it made it much easier to quickly get the answers to the quiz questions. Our project for this module, SBC 1, Reinforce Your Skills, is based on Chapter 3, as I said before. And I want to go through some of the details of it. After you've reread Chapter 3, and I would like you to reread it, there's a lot of stuff in there that will appear very different since you've been through so much additional material. So I'd like to have you read that Chapter 3, and then you're going to be doing the Reinforce Your Skills exercise at the end of the chapter. And in the past we have done the Apply Your Skills sections. This one is the Reinforce Your Skills. So pay close note to that. We're going to be doing sections 3-1 through 3-5, and it begins on page 111 and goes through page 114. Be sure again to change the name of your company by adding your name to the end of it, as described to be just before the RYS 3-1 section. Also, please do Reinforce Your Skills section 3-6, steps 1 through 4 only. 5 through 10 are not done. Once you've completed the Reinforce Your Skills section 3-6 step 4, the end of this exercise, I want you to print out the following two reports, and each of these reports should have a date range set to all. Date range set to all. The first one is to save the quick report for Ramirez, Hector, created in RYS 3-6 step 4. As a PDF file named hramirezquickreport.pdf. The checksum value for this report is debit equals $1,200 for both the invoice and the payment lines. And again, all these details are provided in the actual assignment, so you don't have to remember all of this. I'm just kind of reviewing it for you. The second report you're going to turn in is a customer balance summary report. Customer balance summary, found under the report menu. And you need to save this report as a PDF file named Escalano summarybalance.pdf. The checksum value for this report is the Escalano header / remodel line should read $640. Again, as usual, if the reports do not produce the correct checksum values, you've made an error, and you need to continue working until you get correct results. I have found a very noticeable improvement in the quality of the homework because of giving you these checksum values. I think everyone agrees that it's really nice to know whether you're doing it right or wrong before you turn your homework in. When you're ready to upload, you just click on the Submit Assignment on the assignment page, and then you submit the two files as PDF type files. The last thing on our list is the discussion. It's the SP-1 feedback and comments discussion. And as usual, I want you to share with me and the other students any comments, questions, or suggestions that you might have relating to the module. You might also wish to comment on whether revisiting an earlier chapter was beneficial, if you noticed anything from doing this. Thank you. Have a good module. Good luck.